How's it going, fellas? So, today, temporarily, I'm going to be taking a look at some levels on Shopify that might concern a couple of people. I saw a couple of people posting about how Shopify wasn't playing out, the way that they want to. So, I just wanted to give you a couple of reasons. I don't know Russell's exact reasoning behind the trade. It could be market fundamentals or anything else, really, but let's go ahead and take a look at what I'm looking at here. So we've got this really long-term trending resistance coming down here, and we've got this long-term trending support at a slight upward angle, or maybe potentially flat. It's actually pretty damn close to flat. So yeah, it's got about like a 0.7 degree on it, but you can see that a couple of times, like we hit a really high here, followed by a really low and a double bottom. We came back up. This is going to be a really important area. We came back up, touched this area, came back down, and we hit this new high on that one market day where things kind of went crazy. And then we're all the way back down. So this is a really nice bullish reversal pattern. You can see this really nice smooth curve that we formed on both the inside and the outside. If my mouse is steady enough to draw it. And we've gone slightly more bullish in these past couple of days. So what I'm expecting, short term that is for there to be a slight pullback, and then we will continue upward up to this resistance before we come back down again. Now, how far we come down is, a little bit up to market conditions and also just where the stock wants to go. But I'd be willing to gamble on coming down. Whoa, holy shit. I didn't realize that this stock was trading in the thousands. But likely to come down to about 1,120 or so. Now, the main important thing to look at here is a couple of support resistance zones that we have. So I'm going to mark one here. I'm going to... Hold on. Where... Okay, so we're actually sitting on this zone here after hours, which is kind of interesting. But we've also got a zone here and a potential zone. Oh, Lord. And a potential zone right here. Real quick. Okay, just want to check something. So short term, you guys may have some issues printing on this play. And that's fine if you are a little bit scared to stay in or you don't have a large account. You don't have to take a trade like this. But the thesis for me here is either to sell on this short-term downside here towards the 19th or so, which is tomorrow. Well, I don't think that's the real reason. Once we hit this long-term trending resistance, it's more likely that we bounce down. And if we continue up for a break, that's just chance. It's going to happen eventually. But typically on stocks like this with a lot of dollars involved, in the thousands, we have to move $100, $200 to make these breaks. So this is a 11% increase in a couple of days. That's a little bit unlikely. So what stocks like this tend to do, we've seen it with Amazon, we've seen it with Snow, I've seen it with a couple of others, Facebook, Apple. Apple is similar to this because of the float, the shares outstanding. If you have the stock down to the level that Shopify was at, they'd be fairly similar in price action. So you'll typically see multiple bounces on these trend lines because they move a little bit slower. I know that's hard to believe from what you're seeing here, but that's just because the float is a little bit lower. It's a little bit harder for these to break out aggressively on these levels after 3 bounces, so it's much more likely that we continue down to a lower number. Anyways, that's going to be my thesis on what could happen here. If you guys have any questions, don't forget to ask at me or Russ in the Discord, at QuitsDrop, at RustyRuss. I can answer a lot of your questions regarding some of these plays, just from a technical analysis standpoint. But other than that, that's going to be about it. Also, RSI is approaching overbought levels on this rally. So if we do sell off onto this trough, I believe they're called, if we sell off here, it could be a decent exit point for some of you that bought at the top and are going to, well, you sold at the top and buy back at the bottom. Could be a decent point for that. Stock decreases in about, I don't know, hold on. So the stock decreases about 3%. You could make a little bit of money. But in my opinion, this is a bit of a longer term trade towards the beginning of June. May, June, July. Yeah, okay. So towards the beginning of June is more likely what I'm seeing. If you guys wanted to wait, we could even have a better entry up here, which I'm sure if Russell watches this, I'll probably tell him anyway. But this is an amazing play set up here for the future. But that's going to be about it, guys. So if you have any questions, once again, let me know. At me in the Discord, whatever you need. And I'll see you guys later. Have a nice day and goodbye.